The Red Bull Wololo Legacy continues, and in this winners round, we've got IamMagic playing in the southwest corner of the map in blue as the Delhi Sultanate, and his opponent will be Leenock playing in yellow as the Roos. The map being Basin, it's going to be an exciting match for sure because Basin is, well, very open as you can see. Nothing really going on in the middle, vast areas of land for both players as an army to traverse and attack from. Now I have to say my voice is kind of going a bit. It's been a bit unwell recently, but this is too big an event to be missing. A $300,000 LAN event for Age of Empires 4, the biggest tournament in Age of Empires 4 history right now. This is way too big to miss, and I'm super excited to share these games because both of these players have actually already won a set in this tournament, hence they're being in the winners round, and that has big consequences because that means the winner of this set between Leenock and IamMagic will progress to the quarterfinals and inch a little bit closer to that champion status, that title for Red Bull Wololo Legacy. We shall see who is able to book their place in that quarterfinals in this best of three, and we do see the Dome of the Faith being built here by 4 villagers for the Delhi Sultanate and IamMagic. Now if you would like to see both of these players, their sets in the opening round, I've got plenty of the casted sets done for you for Red Bull Wololo Legacy, so do check out that playlist. I'll leave that in the video description, and that'll be nice for you to check if you haven't seen the other sets. And it's going to be the Golden Gate, no real surprises there for Leenock. Going to be building with 4 villagers. Now both civilizations can be pretty aggressive in the feudal age as well, which is what's kind of making this map and this matchup pretty exciting. The Roos often obviously getting access to the early night, but with the Delhi having free eco upgrades and having technologies like efficient production, it can really spiral things out of control with that military count. Now if you're not aware with Age of Empires 4 and the civilizations, efficient production is a technology. Research from the mosque has already come in, so we can't check the tooltip, but it allows the scholars to garrison inside production buildings to double the production speed time. Well, reduce it in half rather, so double the production efficiency of those production buildings. Effectively get 2 for the price of 1 for those production buildings, so you can really start to mass up an army. Speaking of army, that's what might be coming out soon for IamMagic once this landmark goes up, because he does have a decent amount of wood, just needs a bit more wood to be able to afford that first production building. What will it be? Often the Delhi Sultanate open up with a stable. We should see if that's what IamMagic decides to do today, or if he has other plans, has 160 wood in the bank, and it's going to be blacksmith first. And this is because you get the technologies for free for the Delhi Sultanate, so he wants to queue up those blacksmith upgrades as soon as he can. Leenock now getting to the feudal age himself. Wheelbarrow coming in for IamMagic. Wheelbarrow is already in for Leenock as well. Looks like he got a Dark Age Wheelbarrow, which is a little bit trickier for the Roos this patch, because recently, well, the sheep used to give the Roos gold, but it doesn't anymore, and so there's a little bit less gold that the Roos get from bounty, and it's a bit more tricky. But also in terms of town centers, the second town center actually costs 350 stone rather than the usual 300 from previous patches, and so it does mean that the Roos are kind of made to mine the stone a little bit unless they want to commit to 3 Golden Gate tickets, which is probably, it's a little bit tricky. They used to be able to get away with 2 golden tickets, but now it does mean the scouting will reveal this for IamMagic, so IamMagic will be aware of this. He'll be, well, certain that it'll be a 2 town center play. Will the Delhi Sultanate follow? We shall see. Another blacksmith going down for the queuing up of further blacksmith upgrades. It does take a while for the upgrades to come in. Whilst they are free for the Delhi Sultanate, it might sound a bit broken, but it does take quite some time for it to come in. There is a stable opening for the Delhi Sultanate, and we shall see if the Roos decide to go for barracks in response. Going for that second town center on the deer patch there on the right side, a little bit far away from his main primary base, and that's a little bit concerning because the gold is pretty exposed as well, and you just wonder whether he's going to change his mind and put the town center here instead. Actually, that's a decent spot, closer to the gold, acts as a bit more of a static defense and protection, and there is that barracks that we were discussing. I believe it looks like Leenock might have scouted the stable, or is at least expecting it, as he will be getting a barracks for some spearmen for defense. We'll also be getting a mining camp, looking to get some gold. Maybe for some upgrades, maybe for some knights. We shall see. It is a bit tricky for the Delhi Sultanate to be too aggressive too early, because of course the wooden fortress acts as a static defense for the roost, and it also bolsters rather the wood income for the lumber camps. 20% more wood is dropped off when it's in the influence of that wooden fortress. See some scholars heading out now. Looks like Sanctity has come in. Let's just double check that. It looks like it. No, actually, just about to come in 2 seconds. Preemptively, those scholars heading out. Leenock is scouting this, so he'll be aware. Maybe looking to try and challenge this, and this sacred site near the base has already started to be capped. Scout going to harass that scholar, though. Horseman and Spearman heading towards the middle sacred site. IamMagic is quite keen on getting this. He wants that gold trickle, but Leenock staying on that case. He'll start attacking that scholar, I'm sure. There it is. Horseman heading that way, though. Spearman brought back for IamMagic to harass that scout. Leenock pulls it away. The Delhi Sultanate will get at least 150 gold per minute with that sacred site there. Scout was challenging that as well, but Scout has to pull away because there is a Spearman and Horseman. And on the back of this, well, that villager count will start to increase, although for some reason it's behind. I'm not entirely sure why Leenock is behind a villager count. It must have had some idle time on his town centre, but we can see the efficient production working there. 1 out of 1 means that there's a scholar garrison inside that barracks and in the stable, so certainly IamMagic is really looking to double down in that feudal age. He's going to get the gold income from the sacred site near to his base, but also the one in the centre of the map. Horsemen get a value there. They get 1 villager, but do back off. He might lose 2 horsemen, but it's worth it at this stage, especially if he can continue production and keep up a standing army, which he is. 15 military on the field already. Looking good for the Delhi Sultanate in his early aggression. Runs into 2 spearmen though. Will lose that horseman for free. Ooh, lots of HP lost there for IamMagic. Wasn't paying attention to that particular moment of the game, but he was looking elsewhere most likely, as we see the scholar being challenged there on that sacred site. Might need to keep a couple of spearmen there just to stop that harass. The spearmen there, they're going to push this back for Leenock. You get the feeling that IamMagic wants to try and keep some map control with military, force the issue, be aggressive, keep the roost back at home. And you can just see with army trickling forward towards that central sacred site. Will he start to wall up the sacred sites? That's a question. It's a heavy wood investment to do so, so I'm not so convinced at this stage, especially when he's not seeing too much military. Something that the Delhi Sultanate in this situation has got to be a bit careful of is whether there's a possibility of the roost going for a fast castle. But what we do see instead is, rather than a fast castle, is a stable archer range and barracks. Ooh, a triple archer range. So it means that the roost is definitely going to double down in the feudal age and challenge this sacred site play here. And who can blame them? The roost do get some good bonuses for wood, as we discussed, because of the wooden fortress, so they can often really have this play where they really do spam out the number of archers, and that will nullify these spearmen that IamMagic is getting. IamMagic will need to be careful to scout that out. He won't want to invest in too many spearmen unless the knight numbers really start to build up. And look at this, Scout just harassing this position, always having to pull army back there to try and defend that sacred site. IamMagic really starting to build up those numbers. You can see just by being on 1 town centre, investing less food into villagers, he needs to pump out that military numbers 33 to 12. It does mean that he needs to invest into some early aggression to make sure that his opponent kind of pays the price for going so early. Agreed. And early knight goes for the horseman now. This is a bit of a concern. We need to have a couple of spearmen in that position. Are just heading forward. IamMagic trying to press the issue, looking to idle some of the villagers on the wood, doing a good job of that. Picking off the archer reinforcements, going underneath the town centre in a great position to discuss. It's really acting as a good protection here. But he does have now all 3 sacred sites there. IamMagic maybe look to wall up this sacred site if he can keep hold of that, but he's actually losing contesting. He's actually having this site here contested. Setting another horseman, that won't be enough to deal with the knight though, so he holds back just for now. Army heading back for IamMagic, getting a little bit of value, but not perhaps as much as he would have wanted at this stage. Enemy neutralizing that sacred site closer to Leenock now as well, but this is all very important gold trickle coming in for free as well. Well, not for free, he's obviously have to invest in military to secure these sites, but it's a passive gold income that's very welcome for the Delhi. He's starting to build up a large army, and with scholars as well, it does look like IamMagic is raring to go in the feudal age. And the scholars do have some great healing powers, so I think he's going to be aggressive. You can almost sense it in the wind here with the style of play. Committing to that 1 town centre, not going for extra economy behind this, and he's going to push here now. It's going to be difficult for IamMagic because there is a town centre, there's a wooden fortress to contend with. There's a lot of economy in this forward position, and Leenock might find himself in a bit of spot of bother because he's struggling on the military number count in comparison. Leenock kind of needs the time to be able to translate that economy into military, and is going to struggle. Archer's getting good value here for IamMagic, but he's diving underneath 2 town centers and a wooden fortress. Is really limited to how much he can do. He might need some rams here. He's losing HP. There are scholars to heal up, but it just feels a bit difficult here for the Delhi Sultanate to break in because of that second town center placement, and it just shows you, it goes to show how important that second town center placement can be. On the back of this aggression though, it does give map control to IamMagic. Will enable him to take some pocket economies if he needs to. If he needs to expand his economy to deer patches that are a bit further out. He's finding it hard to break through. Palisade walls coming up between these two wood lines again, going to be offering a lot of control, a lot of defense there for Leenock. Early night harassing villagers and berries. Only one spearman though. You need to try and push that away. Horseman diving in a bit too far deep, and he might lose his life. It certainly looks like he will do. Although Townsend is focusing on the archer. Now the horseman does get the brunt of it. Does manage to save it though, IamMagic. He's going to dive in here now, IamMagic. He's going to try and take down those archers. Spearmen heading to the front line. Horseman pulled back by the Delhi Sultan. Don't want to have a direct engagement with the spears. Archers in behind for the Delhi Sultan, picking apart those spearmen. The lack of spearmen, that's going to be a problem, but there's a big choke point there for Leenock's archers. Fighting underneath the town centre for the Delhi Sultanate. This is a bit of a struggle. This is a calculated judgment, you feel. Despite being underneath 2 town centres, he's pulling a good kind of lead in terms of military, but he's struggling now, and it could snowball. Wooden fortress fully garrisoned. This is a situation which is a bit of a concern for the Delhi Sultanate. He's fighting underneath 2 town centers and a wooden fortress, but looks like IamMagic feels the pressure, feels like he needs to do damage, and is losing a lot of army in the process. You can see the army numbers starting to fall, but it does have a significant number of scholars there healing up, but they are not doing what they have been tasked to do. The army is dwindling, but he's having so many reinforcements come in, and but he's causing idle time. 27 villages were idle there for quite some time, and that's important. He needs to make sure when he does damage, he does damage to the economy. Leenock also getting castle turrets from that wooden fortress, and arrow slits coming in as well. He wants to double down on that defense. IamMagic needs to do something quick. It just feels like he needs some rams here. He can afford a ram or 2, or just 1 so far, but it does feel like he needs some rams to be able to continue this push. And there we talked about the pocket economies being established with the map control. He's moving out on the west side to that deer patch, and we're getting valuable sources of food, delaying that farming transition, which is very costly on wood and delays the army production. Might be able to get some value here. No static defenses here for Leenock. I think he sees it. Villages being pulled back. Actually, I'm not sure those are being pulled back. Those are just being, dropping off the food. The horsemen dive in, going to get some good value here. We'll just see if Leenock has textiles. He doesn't, so a couple of villages will go down, and that's a good find there for IamMagic. Leenock wasn't aware of that happening, and that's a bit painful. Villager count 56 versus 46, but the military numbers really favouring the Delhi Sultanate today on this opening map, and you could just see the trickle of army heading forward, a whole line of archers coming out, and spearmen and scholars coming out for the Delhi Sultanate, and this could be a meaningful engagement. I don't think Leenock will want to take this engagement outside his primary base. Only 2 villagers garrison inside. I take that back now. Villagers joining in, 8 of them garrisoning inside that town centre now, but it looks like IamMagic is going to double down, has cut the northern sacred site as well. Good to get that valuable gold coming in, getting a decent amount of gold trickle. Scholar's going to help heal up those horsemen. Horse going to torch down the town centres. Not focusing on the army just yet. A couple of spearmen that are going to be focusing on the early knights if they decide to dive in. Archers on archers. IamMagic feels confident in the numbers that he's got here so far. And the early knight tries to get some value, but the spearmen do start to brace and head towards it. Here, spearmen going to help out the horsemen to try and torch down that town centre. But just a ram or 2 would be so significant here for IamMagic. I'm surprised for him not to do so, because that would have freed up the horsemen to fight and engage with the army. But instead, IamMagic looks like it's going to be pushed back. Early knights engaging with the archers. Spearmen heading forward. Good micro by Leenock. Got value with the knights and then pulled back. Looks like the town centre might go down anyway, or the village is repairing. That's a concern. Will be a wood investment going into that repair, but he's got wood for days here. Leenock got plenty of wood in the bank, and it feels like the push is slowing down. Villagers coming to repair that town centre. I think Leenock keeps us alive, and that's a concern for IamMagic. He lost a lot of the military there. Archers there, larger numbers, defenders advantage, really helping out Leenock. And this might be a position that Leenock pushes back, and IamMagic may have to back off from this. I think if you're Leenock on the roost, you're not too bothered by this. You're kind of happy that this has happened. You've kept your town centre running. Sure, you've had some idle time, but your opponent has lost a lot of military in the process, and you still have a stronger economy. Army now is pulling back here for Delhi. Doesn't have enough spearmen really. It does have 3 sacred sites, so whilst the economy is a little bit better in terms of villager count, Don't underestimate that gold trickle from the sacred sites. As you can see, Scholar's doing great work here. Spearman going to be taking out the horsemen. Deli Sultanate do now retreat, and IamMagic's going to have to come up with another plan. Some rams certainly would have helped there, but he hasn't. He didn't go for that. He was quite close to taking out that town centre. Imagine what he must be feeling right now. He had a big push, lost a lot, committed a lot, but wasn't able to get what he was finding. And he was looking for that town centre taken down. On the back of this, as you can see, he's been using the market, recalibrating that economy, using the gold that he has from the sacred sites. As you can see, 450 gold per minute. That's the equivalent of, well, just over 10 villages on gold, if you were to convert that. Number cap probably needs to be refreshed there, but the concern for Roos is that both wood lines are pretty far forward, and he does have a wood line. I take that back. This wood line is a beautiful wood line for the Roos to be benefiting from. But we do see the House of Learning now going up to the Castle Age. IamMagic. That could be a big concern for Leenock, because Leenock is nowhere near that Castle Age. That means we could see some trebuchets. That could certainly help IamMagic. We'll have to see. Delhi Sultanate are very strong in the Castle Age, arguably their strongest age. And he's now there. How does Leenock respond to this? Does he start to wall up? I suspect he will. That's exactly what he does. Decides to wall up. He needs to keep the opponent away from his base for as long as he can. Needs to buy some time to get up to the next age himself. We see some relics being picked up here by the Delhi Sultanate. This is a nice move by the Delhi Sultanate. If the game does go a bit longer than he would have liked, well, he will be picking up those relics. Has 3 in his grasp already. Scholars are out there hunting those relics. And if he gets 3 relics, that's going to be a very, very nice amount of gold trickle. Still Northern Sacred Site, still capped by IamMagic. I think good gold amounts. And yeah, a Spearman is being sent out there by Leenock now. Army going to try and deny those walls, but he notices the walls gone up. A couple of villagers do get trapped on the wrong side of those walls. He's going to pick apart some of those villagers on the wood line. Does get another one. This is good value for IamMagic, picking up some villagers. 74 to 57 villagers though. I'd just chuck on another 10 villagers though for IamMagic to account for the sacred site. It will be the... oh my god. There's a lot of value there. Abbey of the Trinity very far away from the main base. Going up with 18 villagers there. Only enough space for 8 villagers in that wooden fortress. If that was something to be spotted for IamMagic, that could be a source of pain for Leenock. Hasn't got these palisade walls up though. Villagers didn't get around to doing it. I don't think IamMagic knows that this is open. He will know now. Scholars have gone in that direction. Deer pack almost empty here on the west side. We need to find another pocket economy to take advantage of, but there's the Castle Age for Leenock. Get the feeling now that IamMagic is wanting to dive in. Does have quite a few knights on the field. Needs to be a bit aggressive, take advantage of that later or earlier castle time for him, for IamMagic. He might dive on this, but he does have a wooden fortress here with arrow slits. Capturing the sacred site in the north as well, again, as villagers heading back home. Looks like taking engagement, horsemen and some knights and spears. But that wooden fortress getting good value here. Spaghetti placement going to be coming in soon for Leenock and the Roos. Looks like he's going to get the knight upgrade. Oh, good bit of raiding here for Leenock. 2 knights harassing those villagers. That is a good play there for Leenock. It's quite tempting just to, well, it's not tempting, but it's often easy just to get pigeonholed when you're under so much pressure. But Leenock has a presence of mind to send 2 knights to get some value in the pocket economies. Further palisade walls coming on the west side. East side palisade walls have gone up now for Leenock, so he's pretty nicely protected, but this is pretty open. We see something interesting. Have a look at the top bar. We see not only 3 relics garrison inside, another relic coming in, but mostly on the top bar. Take a look at the stone income. I don't know where these villagers are, but they're somewhere mining that stone. It looks like we might be seeing a keep drop. 21 villagers on stone there for the Delhi Sultanate and IamMagic. Keep drop could be important here, could be a staging ground to attack from. And we could see one right in the front of the base, and wouldn't be surprised if to see one there to try and keep this open. Double siege workshop. For Leenock, he recognises he might need some siege here. Army being kept on the right side just for now. Army numbers starting to build up for Leenock though. 43 to 52. 43 to 44 rather. 44 for Leenock, 54 for IamMagic. Knights do keep this open on the west side. Keep here could be nice here, could be good staging ground. Knights might dive on this because Knights will just be tickled by the archers, and he does. There's only 1 knight there for the Roos. Knights dive in. There's a scholar in the behind healing up as well. Leenock loses a knight, but so does Magic. This is a good fight, you feel, for Magic, but only 5 knights will be going down eventually to the wooden fortress in the town centre, and the archers, they do head back home now. Scholar loses his life and walls up again here, Leenock, to try and delay things as long as possible, but there's a break in here on the right side. Will we see those villagers head in soon, because he's got the stone to do so? Well, he did anyway. I'm not sure where that stone's been spent. Where has it gone? He may have traded it in the market, actually. We shall have to see. I would have thought he had enough stone by now. You see more military now heading in the form of knights, heading towards the center of the base, of the map rather. Maybe looking to start attacking from here. Sacred Site is lost on the north, but not much that Magic can do about that. He had it for a significant period of time though. That's super helpful for the daily gold income, as we see now. Scholars healing up those knights and really extracting the value from these units, healing them up. Now, 4 relics rather in the hands of the Delhi Sultanate. Gold income going to be looking very, very strong, and it may be the case that, yeah, I mean, IamMagic has 2 villages on gold, and despite that, it's getting 700 gold per minute. It just come down to the relics and the sacred sites. Decides to head around on the west side. It's still technically open here. A few villages that could be taken advantage of and killed, but there's like a wooden fortress there. Now it's going to try and break in the palisades here, the fortified palisade walls with 3000 HP. Archers in behind. Archers do fire off. It'd be interesting to see if they focus on the horsemen or the spears. They're focusing on the horsemen. Archers there for the Delhi Sultanate engaging as well. I have a feeling that we should have more archers, but the scholars could be the big difference there. Knight's going to break in very soon. Only a matter of time. Spearmen there as well. Oh, a massive group of archers heading in there for Leenock. But the trouble is that it just feels like Leenock's going full archers, but there are knights here, and those knights will shred through those archers. He needs some spears. There's a mangonel that IamMagic's going to need to be careful of, but the knights are going to dive right into that mangonel, take that out, and siege will be a struggle to group up with a roost when there's this many number of knights. Scholars getting involved as well. Archers focusing on the mining camp. No, they need to be in the fight. The knights dive in. Again, fighting underneath static defenses, 2 wooden fortresses and a town centre. It's been painful for the Delhi Sultanate, but he wants to be aggressive here. IamMagic certainly winning in the military count, 52 to 28, and he's pressuring in now. The knights are actually getting good value, especially with the scholars in behind. He's pushing the army back to the farming transition, and this is the issue. Leenock has had to transition to farms a lot earlier than his opponent, and it comes down to not being able to take advantage of the pocket economies as well as the Delhi Sultanate have, and they've done that because of the fact of the map control of the military. The knights are starting to run inside now, creating a lot of idle time. As you can see, 30 villages are idled. There is a warrior monk bringing in a relic. Could we see a Wololo? We shall see. The archers focusing on that warrior monk, and probably a bit too late now to activate the Wololo. In any case, knights are running inside. There's a bit of an engagement here. A couple of knights on those villages, and it looks like that keeper's defensive to protect that economy there on the right side. So that's where the stone was going for Magic. Wasn't being too aggressive. There are 2 mangonels not joining the fight just yet, but you can see the economy just being idled so much here. There's a lovely group of archers for the Delhi Sultanate, killing villagers on the farms and just making sure the villagers don't come out again. You see so many villagers garrisoned inside, and they can't work at the moment. Village numbers 13 only for the roost. Villagers are on the farms, got a death sentence. They're trying to bring the crops in, but they head back in. They can't afford to fight. Magic going to pressure on the southeast border as well, trying to break in through that section. Civil War's holding on for now though. 8 archers there for Magic, getting so much value here. There's something that Leenock needs to deal with. Needs a knight. He's got a mangonel, might be able to do some value there. If Magic is paying attention, he might go and spread formation and prolong the lives, but look at this. This group of villagers just can't get to work. Oh, just in time. That is great value there for Magic and keeping this army alive. He managed to try and maximize the potential with that spread formation. Didn't lose as many as he could have. Looks like he might lose a few more, but actually, again, picking off some villagers. These archers doing so much work, and it has been stabilized now, the economy for Leenock, but damage has been done. And Magic actually has the villager lead now. There are groups of knights trying to harass and get some good picks off, but he's just not managing to get the value he wants though, Leenock. 94 villagers now for Magic. He does have that second town centre in this southern portion as well, so we'll be catching up on the economy. Magic playing this very, very nicely. The pressure just keeps continuing. Massive wave of those knights that must have broken in from the south, and again idle time caused. Villagers on the farms aren't able to work, and this is creating so much idle time. 33 villagers already idled at the moment, and you get the feeling that Leenock is struggling now. I feel like the pressure is building up and is taking its toll. There's a keep coming in here on the north. Another staging ground to attack from. And this is interesting. This gold is being denied, and looks like IamMagic is recognizing this could become a gold game, and well, it looks like the gold is going to be restricted here. For the Ruse does have a gold here on the west and in the north, so that's certainly helpful for the Ruse, but any further gold than that's being denied here by this keep. But those two gold veins will help him for sure. Spearman going to continue the chase. Two knights diving in. There is a crossbow as well. Might still get some value against some villagers, but just riding through again, attacking the farmers. That is huge. Keeps on riding, going to the furthest away villager and might get some value. We shall see what he decides to do with these knights. Ooh, quite a few villagers there right for the taking. Spearman obviously not as fast. But the woodline doesn't help there. Wooden fortresses will take care of this, but in any case, good raiding value overall from previous attacks. Ooh, villagers being peppered with arrows from that wooden fortress in the north. Things are stabilizing a little bit. As I say that, a group of 14 knights coming into the base for Leenock, and he's going to be losing that Treb. Treb's going to try and focus on that keep, but Knight's going to dive in potentially here. But if they do dive in, there are a lot of spearmen here, not ideal for this fight. There's a second Treb as well, so Leenock might lose 2 Trebs. He does lose 2 Trebs, and those knights stay alive, and now they're going to harass those villagers again on the farms. Splitting into 2 groups of knights again, villagers are idled there, having to walk back and forth to the town centre so many times. And Magic really quite happy to dive in with these knights. He might lose a couple of them, he might lose all of them. As long as he keeps his opponent idled, he'll be happy. Behind this, will we see another keep drop? He does have 800 stone here, Magic. Wouldn't be surprised to see a keep just a bit further in now, as a way in through the west. Oh, nice. Could pick off a lot of villagers on the gold. If you've noticed this, Magic, no, he's not spotting it. The Spearmen are going to catch up now, so they'll be able to help defend that position, but that was a big missed opportunity for Magic. Might still spot it. Might still spot it if he wraps around. There's a couple of Spearmen there. Leenock has the presence of mind to keep a couple of spears there. The Knights engage, but it does mean that all the Spearmen are attacking at the same time. There are spring on placement. There's a spring on placement in the wooden fortress, and those Knights are going to clear up those spears, but quite low in health. Further spears head that direction, but once they do, he's going to lose another trebuchet, even maybe springles as well. And wooden fortresses are on fire as well. He has walled up here on the west. Well, no, it's still open there. Still an entry point for IamMagic. Has 1,200 stone in the bank. Can certainly afford a keep. There it is. There's that keep drop in a really strong position in front of the 2 landmarks. Scholars here going to try and heal up those knights. They're engaging at spears in the west. Not a lot more going on. Still villagers on that gold vein. But Leenock will need to be careful because this gold vein could be under pressure here with the knights. They're just passing through. Not engaging just yet. Loses 2 more springles. That is a huge amount of wood and gold investment going down there for Leenock. This is a problem. This is a big staging ground for an attack here for Magic. Crossbows have been teched into 2 trebuchets with outposts as well, and full map control with 4 relics and a sacred site. 2 sacred sites rather. Actually, it's just 1 sacred site. Magic lost the sacred site in the south, hasn't captured it again. He's focusing on other things. He's focusing on pressurizing. Crossbows diving underneath the wooden fortress, getting good value on the farms there. What's happening with these gold villagers? They're still mining that gold that Leenock needs. That's one of the saving graces actually for Leenock, those gold villagers on the west, as a knight does head in. Should be able to take out that spearman, and now this woodland is under pressure. Knight's going to get some good value. Leenock needs to react to that. We lose the villagers otherwise. He doesn't have that many. 77 to 123, and really that economy lead is swinging in the way of the Delhi Sultanate as well as military. You get the feeling that Leenock might have to tap out soon because he's under so much pressure. And yeah, this game is certainly heading in the way of the direction of the Delhi Sultanate, unless something spectacular happens for the Rus. Can't count Leenock out, of course, but do you feel like it's going to be a bit difficult, especially with the second keep drop coming in for IamMagic? This is what we call maybe a get out of my game keep. Focusing on the capital town centre now. Going to be torching that down soon. Just feel like Leenock's going to struggle. Doesn't really have the military. He's saving up for one last push potentially. 2 trebuchets still on the field for him, but it doesn't have much protection for that. The knight does finally go down, but you can see he's slain so many of the Rus villagers. Lost a spearman on hand to take care of the knights. Might be the case that IamMagic needs to tech into something else, but realistically from this position, it doesn't really seem like a game that he can lose. 32 minutes in the clock for game number 1 in this winners round. Looks like the winner for this game might be IamMagic. We'll see. He's got 4 trebuchets. Might take care of this keep actually. He did get rid of that one. He's going to take down the 2 keeps. Will he have the ability to defend beyond that? That is the question, because he might lose these 4 trebuchets. And I think if you lose these 4 trebuchets, that might just be the final nail in the coffin. Doesn't really have the military to protect them. 61 military coming out in numbers for IamMagic. The keep does go down though, so there's some nice pushback for Leenock, but it could just be temporary. Especially if the trebuchets go down. One will go down. And he's going to lose a second potentially as well. Yeah, he does. And if he loses his trebuchets, that's going to be hard now. There's a lot of wood and gold investment. He did lose the Golden Gate. Has lost the capital town centre. Just one landmark standing now, and that is the Abbey of the Trinity in the north. Loses 2 mangonels as well. How is he pumping out these siege units? He is, but he loses the 2 mangonels very quickly, and now the siege workshops might be going down after that. A couple of trebuchets for IamMagic here will do wonders. He does have a few. I say a few. He's got 4. He's got plenty, and it's going to dive into the heart of the base. And you feel like Leenock on his last legs here in this game number 1. On bases. Still has one more trebuchet alive somehow. That's going to be going down very soon with the knights. A couple of man-at-arms being added in as well to the mix. With the House of Learning, I suspect he's got honed blades, and I feel like IamMagic is working his magic here against a strong player in Age of Empires 4. The runner-up of N4C. IamMagic just needs to see this game out, and you get the feeling that's going to happen very soon, because he has now reached the Imperial Age, and once he does that, Leenock taps out. He knows he's beat in game number 1. Leenock will want a response in game number 2, and that's coming right up. Welcome back. Game number 2, ladies and gentlemen, on Dry Arabia with IamMagic in the north. In blue as the Ottomans, and in the south, the Mongols, being played by Leenock in yellow. And this is going to be an interesting set. We've seen Magic play as the Ottomans already in the Bull Wololo Legacy, and, well, it was a fantastic performance. And it was a great set between IamMagic and Marine Lord, which I have casted on the channel, so do check that out if you want to have a look at that set. It was a fantastic one, and we see an instant military school being placed down for the Ottomans. We were to get those spearmen out nice and early for free to try and counter out the Mongols, and I suspect the Mongols might be looking to be aggressive early on. Has already placed the Ovu, starting to chop that wood. It might be an outpost rush and some barracks for some spearmen, but don't forget, the Mongols will have to pay for those spearmen, whereas the Ottomans won't. So that could be interesting. Now with game number 2, with IamMagic already having won the first one, it does mean that this is essentially match point. The winner, if this is going to be Magic winning this game on Dry Arabia, that would mean he would progress to the quarterfinals for Bull Wololo Legacy. And, you know, coming in as seed 16, it wouldn't necessarily have been expected for this to happen, but IamMagic playing incredibly well in the game so far, and, well, he is playing out of his skin, and, well, he would deserve a place in the quarterfinals on the back of how he's performing here. It is a barracks going down for Leenock, so we're looking to get some spearmen, double production of spearmen there. Going to be looking to pile on the pressure early, and whilst the Ottomans, he's actually going to go for barracks as well, nice and early for the Ottomans, so he's going to double down on the spearmen, try and protect his economy from the Mongols that will be coming in very soon. This is interesting. This could be a good indication of how to play against the Mongols as the Ottomans. Dropping your military schools so you get units for free, but also dropping a barracks to be able to match the spearman production that the Mongols get. Of course, the Mongols benefit from the Ovu getting double production of their units, as I suspect those units might be heading north now. In fact, have they been cancelled? I wonder whether... No, they haven't. There they are. Hard to track sometimes on the minimap, but those are the 2 spearmen, and IamMagic keeping a keen eye on that villager heading forward as well for the Mongols. Looks like he's going to try and place an outpost. Where is he going to try and put it on? Probably the wood line. But you know what? There are 3 spearmen here for Magic. He's got the defender's advantage as well. 3 units coming in, and it looks like Leenock going to send the villager back. He's not feeling too confident about the outpost. Yeah, he's heading back. He's thought of it, second time, and he's thought better of it. Expect he may have seen possibly the barracks there, and knows that he's probably not going to be able to get that outpost up. 4 spearmen in total now for the Ottomans. Interesting mix of free units and spending resources for those units. Here we are, 4 spearmen for Leenock as well, and it looks like the Ottomans are going to just outproduce the Mongols here. Nice way to play the Ottomans versus the Mongols. Spears engaged. It's going to be good engagement for IamMagic if he can get it, but he doesn't. He does get a few free hits though. All 3 free hits. That's fantastic value there for Magic. Ottomans getting the early pressure in, which is really surprising. You'd expect the Mongols, to be super aggro early on. They usually do have that capacity, but clearly Ottomans can do it as well. And the charging here for Magic really coming into play. These spearmen are reducing HP, and it takes a fight here. Leenock probably would win it, but Magic would still get great value. Magic decides not to fight that, and rightly so. 6 versus 4. Now the charge happens the other way around. The Mongol spearmen charging into IamMagic's units, and Magic will want to try and get out of there as soon as it can. No Khan to use the movement speed for the Mongols. Transitioning rather to gold now is Magic. Going to be looking to get to that feud age if he can, but he's staved off the early attack from Leenock. 2 more spearmen heading in now. Magic might actually take this engagement. We shall see. Decides to turn around and fight, and that's a really smart play. As you can see, he's microing this incredibly well. Takes the weak spearman out of the fight and brings it back in. The micro is so strong here for Magic. 2 weak spearmen staying alive now. Now the numbers are actually in Magic's favor, and could we see 2 more spearmen join the fight for the Mongols? No, we don't. So this is a fight that Magic will win and continue to push back. Very back and forth already with spearmen. Heading further south, getting free hits. Khan coming in. Could use the maneuver arrow now, which we'll see. He does have the ability to use it, but loses another spearman. Now Magic decides to pull away, and is actually going to go for an outpost rush of his own. Holy smokes, it's going to be an Ottoman's outpost rush against the Mongols. Fascinating play. I'm going to have to beg this down and look at the build order, I have to say, because this is super interesting how Magic is playing this. It's going to go up with the Twin Minaret Madrasa as well. A very fast feudal age uptime as well behind this, just considering how much is vested. Of course, the Mongols will get there first with the Deer Stones. But a lot of spearmen on the field here for Magic, and he is going to be blocking off these 2 gold veins and 3 gold veins potentially, and this is an incredibly strong play here for Magic. He's got so much map awareness here. Going to deny those 2 gold veins, and now Leenock going to struggle for that gold. He's going to have to move elsewhere, and he doesn't have another source of gold. That is a huge problem. Now Magic is not too far away. We do hear the Vizier point being added. We shall see if he ended up getting more sheep, or is it a Mehter that he's going to get. We shall see what he decides to do. Maybe another... No, there we are. We just saw the sheep spawn there. So it will be Anatolian Hills that he's got more sheep now. But he's got a staging ground to attack from for this outpost, and nice those 2 gold veins. There's the feudal age though for Magic, and is going to be upgrading with his spearmen to hardened spearmen. Wheelbarrow will be coming in for Leenock as well. Is taking villages on those berries. So this is a nice landmark. The Twin Minaret Madrasa acts as a mill, but also grows 4 berry bushes that can be harvested 50% faster. So it's really nice on the food income. Sending some villagers to stone. Only 3 so far, which suggests he's opting for a 2nd military school. Getting double broadaxe as well to bolster that wood income. Looks like Leenock is opting for a 2nd town centre. You can just see the wood income really skyrocketing. Plenty of villagers on wood. Looks like he's wanting to actually get a 2nd town centre there and try and expand his economy. But trouble for Leenock is going to have to try and push this outpost back. This outpost denies so much. Good number of spearmen here now for Magic. No archery range for... I take that back. There is the archery range there for Leenock. Spearmen going to head through. Might even torch down this Ovu. This could become a problem for Leenock. Doesn't have the units he needs here. And it looks like the Ovu will go down. Quite possibly. The 12 spearmen. That's going to be a lot of torch damage. Holy smokes. And this is a bit of a concern for Leenock. I'm not sure he anticipated that many spearmen. Just don't forget, Magic is getting them for free. Has now toggled the military school to archers. The Khan takes a lot of arrows. Blacksmith has been built as well. That will be increasing the speed of production of these military buildings for the Ottomans, getting a second military school. Pasture and Ovu have been taken down, and only 2 archers aren't going to be enough here. The Khan harassing a spearman or 2, but the Ottomans got so much value out of that, and means more wood investment will be needing to replace that Ovu. Going to send another town centre onto those berries there, the Mongols. We're looking to get those villager counts up, but he's still behind on economy, and well, the Ottomans going to be getting units for free here. Bit of an army here for the Mongols, a couple of spearmen, a couple of archers heading around the back of the base. But IamMagic certainly going to benefit from the defender's advantage. Going to pick off a couple of archers, or at least some HP off the archers on the retreat. He did queue up a blacksmith upgrade, but he's actually going to go for horticulture instead now. And yeah, it's a tricky one for the Mongols. He doesn't really have the military numbers he needs to take a meaningful engagement. Uses the maneuver arrow to get out of there quick time. Oh, spearman going on the right side. Magic's awareness is perfect. He's looking to see where else he can get gold here, Mongols, and he spots this, and he'll be taking a couple of villages out. Leenock does not have textiles, and he can't get this built up, and he's denying gold even further here. And the village might lose another one. No, probably won't. Spears head into the town centre fire. Needs to back off there. Gonna try and get one, but it doesn't manage it. Gonna lose a lot of HP on this spearman. A bit of an overextension there by IamMagic. Might now looking to be putting some pressure on the Ovu as well. Where is the military from the Mongols? That is the question. Heading back now to try and cut this off, but a lot of idle time has been caused, and the Ottomans are on the chase with the archers as well. And at this point, full archer transition could be a nice play here for the Ottomans. Going to be stable coming down for Leenock. Has double archer range himself, and well, for Leenock, his army's been cut off. Spearmen are engaging. And the military numbers just look better here for Magic. 26 versus 15. Leenock went for a second town centre. Could have been a bit greedy there, potentially. Takes an engagement here on the side of the Ovu, and despite the defender's advantage, it looks like Magic should be able to do a lot of damage here. Gonna pick off a couple of archers on the retreat. Spearman might engage against the Khan might go down. Just one more hit and the Khan might do it. Or the archers don't focus on it, and the Khan just about survives. Magic will certainly be happy with how this game is going, and this could book his place into the next round. The quarterfinals does have a method on the field, actually bringing his army back, trying to recover, I suspect. But again, with the aggression, it does extend his economy to the pocket economies on the berries. Gives him the space to do that, and with 4 archery ranges and 2 military schools, the military schools are now toggled to Sipahi. We will see some Sipahi on the field, and a bit of a transition there. With the meta behind, it will be increasing. Let's see what the meta's toggled onto. Looks like it is attack speed. 15% boosted attack speed. A very nice bonus for the meta and the Ottomans. Looks like the outpost has now gone up, getting arrow slits as well. So Leenock will have some access to gold, but has been delayed quite extensively. Does have the better economy, so Magic will need to be a bit more aggressive here, you feel. It does have the better numbers, but this static defense really offers a protection here for Leenock and the gold income. Looks like Leenock may be trying to opt for a castle age here. As I say that, it drops down another archery range, so no, I take it back. Probably looking to extend the feudal age a little bit. Wants to protect himself. Make sure he has enough static defenses and army, a standing army to sustain himself to that castle age. As the army does start to head forward for the Ottomans, maybe looking to take an engagement, maybe take out a couple of villagers, pushing the army back there for Leenock. Leenock's villagers on the gold do back off into the outpost. Now, it will be attack speed versus movement speed. The Mongols having the deer stones means in the range of the outpost, the units will have better speed, but Ottomans got better attack speed. Meta not in range though. Takes the engagement now. A bit sort of back and forth here. I feel like the Ottomans will win this fight with the attack speed buff. Not necessarily a fight that Leenock wants to take. We'll lose a couple of villages in the gold vein, quite a few villagers, and Leenock's not responding. He's losing more. He lost 3 villagers there pretty cheaply, and now heading back away. Iron Undermesh will be coming in for Magic. Interestingly, Leenock going for Steeled Arrow. He's going for the attack rather than the defense. That's rather surprising, because when you've got a mixed army composition here, Iron Undermesh would actually benefit the Horsemen as well as Spearmen. Iron Undermesh would actually benefit all the units. Steeled Arrow will only affect the attack of the archers, so I certainly prefer the decision here from IamMagic to go for Iron Undermesh over Steeled Arrow first, because he does have a couple of Sipahi, not all that many, does have some Spearmen as well, but they can tank a bit better of the damage now with the Iron Undermesh coming in soon, not just yet. What's interesting is he's looking to take an engagement as the upgrade is coming in. Just harassing the gold. The trouble is, despite having an outpost here, he's not able to freely take that gold vein. Let's have a look at what happened on the outpost here. Has it been taken down? No, it's still there. There isn't even any arrow slits upgrade there, so that's something that Leenock could have pushed. Just heading forward. Again, constantly harassing. He's quite happy to trade off some HP for idling the villagers. Oh, they just come out at the wrong time. Meta taking some of the damage. He won't be able to stand there too long, the Meta. Does pull away. Looks like the Sipahi and Spearmen are going to engage and try to burn this down, and the engagement is being forced here. But look at the numbers here. 63 military for Magic versus 35. Magic is happy to take this fight, and you can tell why. He's just got the superior army, especially with the attack speed, and Leenock going to struggle here. He's going to lose access to gold, and this might be it. This is the problem for the Mongols. If they're not being aggressive, they struggle to defend, and the outpost is not going to be enough. Those villages on gold do go down, and now Leenock under all sorts of pressure. The archer numbers really building up for Magic, and it comes down to the fact he's getting 3 units. He also didn't have that second town center expansion, so he could invest the resources into these units, but only half of the army fighting there for Magic, not all of them. That was a bit of an oversight there, but still gets decent value. Archers get engaged with the Meta, backing them up, and looking strong here. The girl will go down, is burning on fire, and the villagers going down the west side potentially to get that gold, but he's struggling. Leenock is struggling, a lot of idle villagers. Siege engineering coming in for the Ottomans soon, and wheelbarrow as well. Going to double down on those upgrades and really pile on the pressure in the feudal age, but that military is going to be really starting to increase. Oh, I'm not sure why Leenock's heading that direction again. He thought the army wasn't there, but it is. 7 villagers turns into 2, loses 5 villagers there very quickly in the blink of an eye. And now the economy is balancing up. 53 villagers for Leenock, 49 for Magic, and that is huge because don't forget the villagers have had the food investment in them. They're just not paying for themselves anymore. As we now see 2 rams being built on the field on Dry Arabia for the Ottomans, it looks like the feudal age pressure is going to continue. 2 imams coming out as well. I suspect that would have been the vizier points. That will heal up the units nicely. Magic playing this super well. A couple of horsemen heading into the base of the Ottomans trying to get some value, but there are spearmen to defend, and he's trying his best here, Leenock, but it might not be enough. Horsemen and Khan get chased away. Here comes the ram rush. The archers are behind with the Meta. The Mongols are going to try and push this back, but just feel like he doesn't have enough. Magic might be sealing the deal, might be securing his place in the quarterfinals. We shall see the engagement. This is the big fight we're expecting in the feudal age. Khan has been taken down. Horsemen engaging for the Mongols. There are a couple of spearmen there as well, but you get the feeling this is going to be too much. IamMagic healing up with 2 imams as well, and the one ram does get taken down. But at what cost? That town center is on fire. 9 villagers are idle there. They pop out trying to heal it up, but get the feeling too much military here. Another group of archers heading in, 68 to 22 in terms of military numbers, and Meta in behind, boosting up the speed of attack by 15%. Mongols struggling. 10 villagers garrison inside, but that ram will take that town center down, and this is really spiraling out of control. You just feel like the Ottomans too powerful here on Dry Arabia against the Mongols. Magic killing those villagers, trapping them inside, and look at that, 45 villagers to 50, and Leenock taps out. IamMagic gets this win. He wins the set, and he progresses to the quarterfinals. The player who came in as seed 16 is now in the top 8. What a fantastic performance by IamMagic, and we will see him in the quarterfinals. If you want to see more caster sets from this Red Bull tournament, do click the right-hand card screen now. Take care, and see you next time.